Hello my loves, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, but before we hop into it, I wanted to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, which is Keen. You guys know I love Keen, and if you have not heard of them before, and if you're new here, well then Keen is a huge online psychic network full of psychics and spiritual advisors that are there to answer your life's questions. Keen is also incredibly convenient because it is online, therefore it is 24/7. You can log on wherever you live on this planet, and you can browse through different psychics that have different price ranges, and you can also choose the amount of time that you want to spend with a psychic. They also make the sign-up process super simple, so essentially they will ask you a few different questions to get to know you a little bit better, and then they'll actually match you with their most recommended psychics for you based on the answers that you provided before. So it makes it really easy to find the best psychics. My own personal experience with Keen has been great so far. I've had some really great readings, and I've actually discovered multiple really great psychics using Keen, and one of the things that I recommend is trying out a few different ones before you choose the one that you want to spend the most time with, because every psychic has a different way of reading, and that way you can find the ones that you resonate most with. So if you guys want to try out Keen, you guys can use my link trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, and again that is trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. So I hope you guys love them just as much as I do, and without further ado, let's hop right into today's video. Hello my loves, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, and this one is going to be your November 2021 month ahead prediction. So if you guys are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to be giving you guys a quick little rundown of how it works. So over here we have pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you guys can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, there'll be timestamps linked down below in the description box and the comment box so that you guys can easily skip ahead to watch your personal reading for the month of November. If you guys like to choose with crystals on these cards, then let's go ahead and pop some crystals on these cards. All right, my loves, so if you guys like to choose with crystals, here are our crystal options. Over here we have some citrine. This is actually heated amethyst citrine. Then over here we have some pyrite. Then we have some regular quartz, and then we have some rose quartz. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card. And then you guys can skip ahead and watch your personal month ahead prediction for November of 2021. So with that being said, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into today's video. All right, so group number 1, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's hop right into it. Wow, okay, so group 1, we start off strong with you guys. So the month of November, here's what we have for our tarot cards. We have the 5 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the 9 of Pentacles, King of Cups, Death, and King of Wands right here. So we have quite a focus on the Pentacle cards right off the bat. I will say there's huge contrast here between the 5 and the 9 of Pentacles. The 5 signifies where we're kind of coming from. So October might have been a month where maybe we felt like we were either a little bit more alone, or we even felt like maybe financially we were going through a bit of a dry time. Like the 5 of Pentacles is just, it seems like there was a bit more of a struggle. Maybe there was a bit more worries, a bit more physical things that we kind of had to overcome in October. And it looks like you guys are really getting a hold on that in November, because the 9 of Pentacles signifies abundance. This is kind of when we go through a bit of lack. So the 5 of Pentacles in October would have signified some sort of lack, whether that be lack of happiness, lack of balance, lack of physical resources like money, for example, things like that. So you guys are really coming to a much better place in November. In fact, I would not be surprised if you guys just get a huge, not necessarily huge, I mean, it depends for all of you, but it does look like you're going and entering into a lot of abundance. And I mostly see this as being monetary abundance, but this can also be abundance of all kinds. When we look at 9 of Pentacles, the Pentacles usually symbolize money or material things, and it's also combined with more of a relaxed attitude as well. So it's not necessarily like you're working super hard and making more money. It's kind of just like we're able to just be relaxed and kind of be more calm with not so much of a crazy schedule, but yet we feel more abundant. So I hope that's making sense. I do think that you guys are going to kind of keep more quiet, especially in the beginning of November. It looks like you guys might be planning for something or taking some time for yourself. With the High Priestess next to the Nine of Pentacles, it kind of just seems like you have this inner knowing, this inner trust in November. And it also seems like it's a bit more of a like retreat type energy where we are thinking about something or planning for something. But somehow there's like a brainstorming type of energy that we get between these two cards that I'm seeing that is going to be in your November, just kind of like brainstorming about certain things. The fact that we have two kings here as well near the end of the little spread that we have, this signifies that near the mid to end of November, there's going to be a lot more action being taken. And this action is like this desire to switch up your life a little bit. Because I think through this contemplation and this planning, this sort of maybe getting into manifestation, I think that your mind is going to be heavily focused on like scripting or writing or like manifestation. Because as we see in the depiction of this card, she's quite focused on this book, or it looks like she might even be writing something or reading. And to me, that kind of signifies that you guys might be focused on what do I desire, what do I really want, and then by the end of November, it's like you guys are taking action on that, and I really see that you guys are kind of pushing that forward. I see a lot more excitement, so much more motivation by the end of November upon something that you guys were sort of thinking about. All of a sudden, we're taking action, and I think that you guys are going to feel like you have so much more energy, and there's going to be a desire to really like shift your life as well, with the Death card being in between it. There's a desire for shift here. There's a desire for change. And this is almost a change of your mental state, your emotional state as well, since it's next to the King of Cups. It's a change in how you take action. I think that you guys are going to be focusing a lot on your body as well in the month of November, with trying to be healthy. Because with the wands here, this is like we're taking action, we're being more physical. And with Death coming up right before it, we're kind of done with our slouchy energy over here, and we're like, okay, let's actually start to take action, let's start to do stuff. And I just see the end of the month being a lot more active and a lot more like focused and direction oriented. There's a lot more motivation here by the end as well. And I just see you guys just feeling so much more happier, with a much more balanced mental state, and you're like in control of that mental state. And you're kind of like telling yourself how you want to be, what you want to do, and all of a sudden those things are kind of just like happening, right? And I think you guys are going to be really going after something as well, going after something that's quite important to you. But yeah, you're definitely on the verge of snapping the cord between like an old thing in your life, whether that be an old mindset, an old persona that you're hanging on to that doesn't resonate anymore, but you're cutting ties with something significant here, whether that be internally or externally. There's something that you guys are kind of like cutting the tie with, and there's so much more motivation, so much more balance. Like it just feels like the right decision. You might even be asking for guidance in the beginning of the month, like guidance on what am I supposed to do, where am I supposed to go, what am I supposed to let go of, how am I supposed to transition, what am I supposed to be doing right now? And trust me, you guys are going to be getting those answers throughout November. Those answers are just going to be coming to you like fully, okay? And it's interesting that we have a bunch of planets that are kind of like starting to go direct now. Like we had Jupiter direct, we had Mercury direct just recently. And I think that that's going to be affecting you guys quite a bit, because now it's time to move forward rather than go backwards into the past and things like that. You know, it's time to actually move forward. All right, so with that being said, we also have the card here of healing. So yeah, you guys are healing a mental state, because this totally belongs right with kind of what we were talking about in the beginning. There's definitely healing some of the mentality that's been holding you back for the past little while. There's also healing of limiting beliefs, I feel like. Also healing of this lack of energy and things like that. And I feel like a lot of it was stemming from what we've been putting into our bodies, how we've been consuming thoughts, with the thoughts that we've been focused on lately. You guys are healing all of that in the month of November, and that's going to be what brings you to this abundance and this feeling of like this cutting ties and moving forward with so much more energy and motivation as well. And then we also have the abundance card, which fits perfectly. Like these two cards right here, Nine of Pentacles and Abundance, are almost the exact same. So I'm just gonna like place this one like right here to just sit by the Nine of Pentacles, because it's like basically the same card. So there is you guys are going to be definitely welcoming in more abundance. And that, I believe, for most of you guys will be monetary, like money abundance. This can also be purchasing, finally making a big purchase that we've been wanting to make. I feel like you guys are finally going to be kind of like saving rather than just living paycheck to paycheck. Just like there's just more coming in. We feel so much more balanced, so much more secure, and things like that. And then we also have the card here of beauty is coming in. So with this beauty card, I do think you're going to be focused so much more on like self-love too. I really see this one as self-love coming in. The beauty of life is like reawakening in you guys as well, and just seeing the beauty in just being here, and the beauty in following your passion, the beauty in creation. Like I think you guys are gonna be so much more focused on how beautiful it is to create, be creative, and follow your dreams and kind of like make them a reality. There's so much more focus on the amazing parts of life and the beautiful parts of life and the beautiful parts of yourself. Like I said, this can also, and I definitely see this for you guys also being self-love too. It's almost like we're making peace with ourselves and we're starting to love who we are, because I think that you guys are going through this scripting time of what you really want, cutting ties to the old. And because you're cutting ties to the old, you're kind of like letting go of the things that were weighing you down in life and holding you back. And because of that, there's like this birth of new beauty coming into your life. Okay, so all that is looking really great, pile number one. The next card that we have here, we have the energy card. So kind of like what I was talking about as well. I mean, this card kind of reiterates the fact that we were talking about how I feel like you guys are going to have so much more energy in the month of November as well. Like there's going to be more motivation. It's like when we get out of bed, we're like, oh yeah, I feel energized, I feel great. And I think that there's also going to be like physical changes that you guys are making in terms of like what you're feeding to yourself and things like that. And I think that equates to also having more energy coming in. It's interesting, we have the Death as the 13th major arcana card right here. So we have 13 and 13. That together equals a 4. And numerologically, this is when we're building a new foundation for ourselves. So you guys are kind of focused on how do I want to renew myself and what sort of new foundation do I want to create in my life. So that's what that would be focused on. Then we all, oh my gosh, you guys. Then we also have another abundance card. And it's also interesting, we have a 2 here, and the High Priestess is the number 2 as well. So, wow. First off, just like, wow. So many correlations here with the numbers, and also the fact abundance, abundance, abundance. I don't know how much more confirmation we need here about the fact that November is going to clearly be an abundant month for all you pile number ones. There is more money coming in, there is more resources coming in, there's more help coming in, there's so much more calmness too. It feels like you guys can finally like relax and not have to stress so much and not have to worry so much. And that's probably also why we're having so much more energy, because we feel like our stresses are gone. We've kind of fixed that, dealt with that. The number 2 talks about partnerships, togetherness. So there could be some sort of new partnership coming in as well. And partnership could be friendship, business partnership. It could be a romantic partnership even, but the 2 signifies multiple. This could also mean that there's multiple revenue streams coming in. Maybe there's a new revenue stream coming in for you guys, and it's providing more support financially, for example. So there's all sorts of different things that the abundance card can be correlated to But yeah, I cannot believe we have so much abundance confirmation. It's crazy. So with that being said, we're also going to go ahead and shuffle this deck right here. This is a major arcana deck. There's only major arcana cards in this tarot deck, which is really cool. And we're going to shuffle this to find the major sort of focus. There we go. Didn't even have to shuffle too hard. The major focus for you guys. Wow, that's weird. This card was actually on the bottom of the deck when I was flipping it earlier, and it's the card that flew out. That's all right. So the major focus on the month of November for you guys is a complete shift. So the Chariot card, as we can see, there's two different horses. One of them's black, one of them's white, right? So the black one's pulling her in this direction, the white one's pulling her in this direction. When they're completely balanced, she just goes straight. But this can also signify that you guys are making a shift. So for example, it's very similar to your guys' reading where over here we have like this sort of blah, kind of getting out of the rut. And then this direction is like going in the direction of energy and inspiration, passion kind of coming back out, right? It's also interesting that the horses are looking in that direction. So this is talking about the major focus is this shift. So November is going to be all about this shift for you guys of going into a better direction, getting into a better mental state, getting into a better physical state, getting into a better emotional state, getting into a better spiritual state. There's all these new states, like your whole kind of life is shifting for the better in November. And you guys are finally getting like the hang of things as well. This can also talk about an important choice that we have to make. And it looks like you guys are getting to figure that out because there could be options. The Chariot signifies that we have options. One of the options is to stay in the old, stay in the past. The other option is to move in the future, cut old ties, which can be really hard, right? It can be hard to cut ties with things that we're used to and stuff like that. But I feel like you guys are finally getting to this point of being like, over here is just better. I'm not going to keep this tie just because it's comfortable. I'm going to kind of focus on me, what I really want out of life. And again, I really see you guys scripting. And if you guys have no plans for that, please make plans for that, because the Nine of Pentacles really kind of sticks out to me looking like she's scripting about what she wants in her life. And I feel like, because this card is almost like the transition between the blah and the really good. So the fact of you just focusing in on your energy and asking yourself deep questions like, what do I really want? And focusing on the things that make you really happy, writing them down, this is going to be that shift for you. This is when that shift happens for you. This is when all that abundance starts pouring in. This is equated to the abundance pouring in. So I feel like right when you're kind of focused on that, that's going to be what kind of gives you this emotional strength. And this emotional strength is going to be what causes you guys to finally feel like you can go through this shift and this cutting ties with the old. And then that's going to bring you to this energized state of like this new kind of realm that we can explore. When we have so much more energy, we're so much more balanced, we're feeling really free. The wands symbolize freedom and tons of energy, spontaneity, and it's almost like it just lets you loose to be free. Like you're cutting the chains away, essentially, in the month of November. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get maybe a couple more cards from this deck right here. So group one, what else do we need to know for November? Charity is coming up. Okay, charity. I'm getting that you guys are going to be more focused on the bigger picture and focusing on a bigger purpose. There's going to be a bigger purpose that's kind of coming up in November for you guys, where there's a new path kind of opening up that is like a bit selfless, but it's almost like you're being guided to do something for the greater good of the planet, essentially. There's going to be like a focus on that, a focus on doing something not for the benefit of you, but for the benefit of the bigger picture. Charity talks about that. Let's see what else we get for you guys. Group 1. We also have harmony, so tons more balance, finding where you really belong and what really feels like balance to you. I mean, that makes a ton of sense with what we've been talking about. Harmony, I think this is also you guys getting back in alignment, because when I'm looking at these stars, the word alignment is coming to my head. Alignment to what you're supposed to be doing and the path you're supposed to be going on. We reap what we sow, right? So it's almost like you guys are also getting in good karma in the month of November. So you're reaping what you've sown, because I think you've done so many good things, and you've done so many good things from the bottom of your heart. So yeah, I'm totally getting a message with this one actually right now. Because in the past, you've done so many things from the goodness of your heart, you are going to be reaping the benefits of that in November. You're going to be getting rewarded for that in November, and it's going to create a lot more harmony in your life, a lot more alignment. You guys are finally getting into alignment. So yeah, definitely seeing that for November as well for you guys. So group number 1, that is what we have here for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future. And if so, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. All right, group number 2, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be a reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group number 2, let's talk about it. Let's just say your month is definitely going to get so much better in November. It looks like what you guys are coming from is shifting into something that is so much better. I just want to put that off right off the bat, just because these 4 cards that we're kind of starting with sort of signifies maybe you guys are going through maybe a little bit of a struggle right now with something in your life. But that is getting so much better. We are really starting the journey of healing that in November. But we do have the 5 of Wands, 10 of Swords, 8 of Swords, the Devil, 3 of Cups, and 7 of Pentacles. So starting off with these 4 cards, this can either mean that we're going through an internal conflict. This can be an external conflict. This could be like a disagreement in our minds where we're kind of just like very confused about what we do. There could be some feeling of that we're just not in the greatest feeling at the moment. And it could be through opposing opinions. Okay, the 5 of Wands usually signifies opposing opinions. So there could be something that we're dealing with where either we don't know what's right, we don't know what the right choice is, we don't know, or we're at a conflict with ourselves for some reason about whether or not we can do something or not do something, or a conflict of whether, I'm hearing forgiveness of yourself, and also about facing it. So November's about facing something, okay? So there's something that's kind of like bubbling right now, bubbling beneath the surface, and I feel like you guys are very aware of it, but we've also been maybe possibly feeling like a little bit like, I don't know what to do about the situation. I really want to get some freedom, but we feel a bit weighed down by our thoughts right now, or the situation that's kind of happening. So whatever kind of thing that you're facing right now, it's making you feel not very free. The 8 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, these are both where we feel very weighed down and also kind of trapped by the situation. We feel like there's not really a better route. We feel like kind of whatever we choose to do or say keeps us a little bit trapped. We're feeling like we almost can't even express fully what's going on. And it's definitely been a bit bothersome. Also, it's next to the Devil, so it kind of also signifies that the way that we've been feeling is a bit of an illusion in a way. And I know that might not make sense at first, but the Devil does signify that. So when the Devil comes up, it kind of shows that we have freedom, and that freedom also will be coming to you guys. And I'm going to talk about that in a second, because this over here looks really, really good. But if there's been some like weighing thoughts on you or weighing issues that have been really bothering you to the point where it almost feels like we cannot relax, I'm also feeling like some of you guys have been having some like, when I look at this card, because the swords are in their back, this can also sometimes indicate that maybe we have some sore or tight muscles in our back, and maybe it like just bothers us throughout the day. that's also going to be healing, and I just want you guys to know that that's also going to be going away in November. But the reason why you're even feeling that way is because of whatever this sort of maybe issue is, this conflict, this weighing topic that has been possibly going on in the background for a little bit. It is time to face up to that, and it's possibly even been making you guys feel a bit unmotivated, just because it feels like we don't know where to go from here. We don't know how to get to a common ground with somebody. We don't know how to even talk about how we feel, because maybe it feels like there's multiple opinions that are maybe against us, multiple things going on that we're looking at, that we feel weighed down by, and it feels like we're very trapped by that, because it's almost like multiple thoughts or multiple opinions coming in that make us feel just, very trapped, like I was saying. But in November, it does look like you're going to be meeting some people. And these could be people that you either know, or maybe they're going to be new people that you're meeting in November with the Three of Cups. And they're going to be really uplifting you. And I feel like you're going to be able to really express your situation to this person or these people. And they're almost people that honestly just come at the right place at the right time. And I feel like they've also been through something similar. I think that they're going to be able to relate to you on a very deep level and offer a lot of guidance. And this guidance is going to really help set you guys free. I just feel like you guys are going to be feeling really good, back to your regular game, back to your regular self. They're going to be really, really uplifting you, very much there for you through this situation. But this situation, we maybe feel like we don't really want to move forward on it. We don't really know how to move forward on it, but it's our own fears that are holding us back. The devil talks about the fact that this is our own fears that is making us feel trapped. It's not the actual situation, because again, nobody has control over you, okay? And they cannot. But sometimes there's an illusion where it really, really, really feels like they do. And it feels like we're trapped because we might fear what they might say, or what they might do in certain situations, or whatever, make us feel bad. Or again, if this is an internal situation, maybe we're worried about so many things and we've been very hard on ourselves. But these people are going to help really set all of that free. They're going to help you see that that's just an illusion. You've been hard on yourself, but guess what? What you're going through and things like that, like, they're going to help make you feel so much more free. They're going to really help liberate you and uplift your whole confidence, okay? These people are going to really help get you out of this kind of rut and this situation that you've been kind of dealing with lately. We also do have the Seven of Pentacles right here. This is going to help you kind of get back on track, whereas here it kind of felt like even just doing things felt hard, because either we've been so hard on ourselves, or there's just been this background sort of like dialogue happening because of whatever situations that you guys are kind of dealing with right now. All of a sudden, I see you guys getting back into so much. There's like a hobby that you guys are getting back into by the end of the month. And it's going to feel so good. Like, it's going to feel so much more balanced. I see you guys feeling balanced. You guys kind of just in a fresh mindset, in a fresh space and place, where you guys are kind of almost like planting, because the Seven of Pentacles deals with like planting the seeds of a new crop. So you guys are planning for a new future. Kind of almost switching directions a little bit and realizing that, oh, I can have whatever I want. These people are going to really uplift you to realize that you can have whatever it is that you desire and whatever it is that you want. And I feel like you guys are entering this new phase of your life with so much more confidence, and you're finally kind of like starting something that we were maybe scared to begin, or finally kind of like planting the seeds of a new start to go in this direction that we're really excited about. So yes, the end of November, I mean, November is going to be this huge transformative month of getting over kind of like the blah, getting really uplifted and getting so much more confidence from a great, great, great support team. So with that being said, let's get into the next few cards that we have. We have passion. So yeah, you guys are going to start to focus on something that makes you very passionate. I think that you guys are getting back in touch with your soul, what your soul desires, what you desire. That's going to be a huge new focus kind of coming in. We also have a lot of pink in this card, and the pink deals with the higher heart chakra. So yeah, again, this is going to be something that's extremely passionate and extremely motivating for you. And it almost allows you to feel that freedom again and feel that self-love. These like deprecating thoughts look like they're being fully healed with this pink kind of aura that's happening. So I do think you guys are going to be surrounded by this sort of like pink energy by the end of the month, where it just feels like we're finally really just proud of ourselves. We're proud of our direction. We don't care what anybody else thinks of that direction. And we're just being surrounded by love around this scenario. Oh my gosh, we have the support card here, guys. Oh my gosh. I've not looked at these cards like before reading. I just kind of like see what cards come out for each pile. I don't actually look at what they are, but this is gnarly because we've been like, this is the card that's coming up, and we were talking about with this Three of Cups that you guys are going to have like a really good support team by you, and there's going to be people that are really, really supporting you and uplifting you, and this just like, this ties in with that so well. I think like you guys obviously see it too. Y'all know what I'm talking about, but wow, I just cannot believe it. So the support just, yes, there's so much more support. I also think that you guys are strengthening yourselves, your mind, your individuality is going to be strengthening so much. The amount of confidence that you guys are going to have by the end of November is just like unlike anything that I think you guys have felt yet before in your life. It just looks like there's so much more support coming in. And so much more freedom, because also the wings on his back symbolize freedom too. So it's almost like we're getting liberated, and we feel like there's strong walls that we have now. Not necessarily walls, because walls are kind of used metaphorically as a bad thing, but like you have a very strong mentality and a very, like you're very self-assured in your own personality and your own persona, in your own like soul by the end of the month of November. It feels like you guys are very much like supported, and you feel very confident about that. We also have the card here of guidance, so that also fits in really well. The card guidance fits in kind of with the Three of Cups when we were talking about these people are going to be offering a lot of insight for you, and I feel like we're going to be like sharing our story with these people, and they're going to be able to really relate to it and share tons of guidance to where we feel a lot more confident about the direction that we are headed in. Okay. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of signs from the universe in November for you guys, because guidance can also be your spirit guides. I'm really seeing you guys receiving lots of messages, lots of downloads. Weather, for some reason, I'm getting is going to be a sign. I'm not sure why I'm hearing weather. There could be certain weather happening near you that might correlate to your guys' situation. So metaphorically, weather can be read as well. But yeah, I just heard that from this card. Not too sure why, but all right. The next couple cards that we have right here, let's talk about it. We have inspiration and sensuality. So you guys are re-finding passion and inspiration in November. Also, there's possibly even an inspiration that you guys kind of stopped focusing on and stopped doing before. And then with the Seven of Pentacles, you guys are almost like getting back into it, or maybe even following like a slightly new passion that maybe is just going to come up. But there is like a lot of inspiring energy coming up, especially mid to end November. Tons of inspirational energy is going to be coming up, and I really see you guys getting a lot more artsy, a lot more craftsy. And doing something that just really kind of lights you up. It makes you feel kind of like productive. It also makes you feel fun and inspired, passionate, inspired. We also have sensuality coming in. This is you guys getting back in touch with that inner emotion that kind of just guides you and makes you feel like really good about yourself. The sensual energy kind of coming out within of us feeling like very beautiful, us feeling very confident. The passion and inspiration that you're getting near the end of the month, I think is going to come across energetically to many people in your life. And I think you're going to be drawing in a lot of people who are probably attracted to you. Sensuality can also be taken literally as well. So again, if you are of that age, if you currently have somebody in your life, sensuality can also be taken directly as well, rather than metaphorically in other aspects. But also I do feel like you're going to be like very magnetic towards other people in November, especially near the mid-end of November. And I'm getting around like the 20th, 22nd, there's like gonna be people really telling you like how attracted they are to you, or how much your energy is just a fun energy to be around. And it's because of all this that's kind of like happening, and all this confidence coming in that's happening at the end of November. So with that being said, we're also going to shuffle this deck right here. This is just a major arcana deck, and we're going to be asking these cards the overall kind of energy of November for you guys, and the major focus of November. So let's see, the major focus of November for group 2. What do we have? Major arcana for group 2. The World. So confidence, closing out an old chapter, feeling so good about yourself, feeling like you are guiding and writing the energy and the like painting the picture of your life, essentially. Also opening up a new phase, closing out an old chapter, also feeling on top of the world, feeling like you're belonging once again, rather than feeling like you're kind of more of an, because almost over here in the tarot cards, it felt like outcast energy. And then all of a sudden we're belonging once again. And the World also talks about the feeling of belonging in the world, the feeling of like being so connected with nature. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you guys get reconnected to nature in the month of November as well. And just focusing on big picture. What do you really want? What footprint do you want to leave on the world? Look at this foot just standing over top of the words, the world. So her foot's just standing right on top of the world, right? So what footprint do you want to leave behind on this planet, okay? And what do we want that to look like? What kind of impact do we want to have? And I think you guys are going to start asking yourselves those big questions. And then there's this whole new inspiration, whole new passion that's sort of igniting in November because of that. So with that being said, I also want to shuffle this deck some more to see what other cards we get for you guys. So group 2, what other information do we have coming through for my lovely group 2s? We have insight and forgiveness. We were also talking about forgiveness as well in this group. So, I mean, what more do you want me to say? I think that this is going to be forgiveness of the self, forgiveness of others, but kind of like letting go of being hard on yourself. Because there's this energy where I really feel like no matter what this situation actually is over here for you guys, again, it is a general reading, but the situation that was kind of happening over here requires you to forgive yourself on some level and to make peace with yourself and to reassure yourself that you are worthy, that you are going in the right direction, and nobody can take that away from you. And you know, following your passions is incredibly important. Insight here. Also feel like you guys are going to be getting some answers, some confusion that was kind of going on over here, because I think another major reason why this was going on was kind of like confusion about what do I do in this situation? How do I heal this? How do I cure this? How do I like get back to inner peace and more energy again? You guys are going to be getting those answers about how to return to that good mental state, how to, or what direction you guys want to go in, because maybe there was also some confusion about what direction to go in, what your purpose was. There's going to be a lot of little seeds that you're going to be seeing. And it's almost kind of like as we follow those little seeds, they're leading you. It's like little bits of insight that are leading you to where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be going, what you're supposed to be doing. So follow that. Follow those little passions and inspirations that are going to be coming in November, because those are actually leading you to a much bigger purpose. And the most important things here for November is forgive the past, forgive this whole situation. We need to forgive this situation for coming up, okay? That's going to be one of the biggest things. The second thing that's going to be very big is follow the little seeds, follow those little inspirations, those little ideas that are coming to your mind about what you want to do, or little inspirations that you guys want to follow. Like, oh, that seems like really fun. I think I want to do something like that. Like, I feel kind of inspired to pick this up again, or do this, or get my foot wet in this area, or start planning for this. Follow that, because these are the little seeds that are leading you to a really big purpose. And this big purpose is going to be the impact that you have on this planet. So it's leading you to who you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. in the bigger picture. So there's this new direction happening. There's this new thing that is being built, and it's like this whole building yourself into who you really need to be, and knowing thyself on a very deep level, knowing all aspects of you. This is building up towards that. And it's going to have some big picture impact. So November is going to be a great month for you guys of healing, letting go of whatever this whole thing that has been going on has been. And we're really heading to a lot of passion and inspiration. And it's leading you to a really big purpose that's going to be revealed soon, because I think there's a new purpose coming in for you guys. A new big thing that you guys are supposed to be doing and following. And you guys are going to be seeing the seeds of that, seeing those little breadcrumbs that are leading you in that direction. That's going to be coming up in November for y'all. So yeah, I can't believe I just said y'all. I haven't said that word in a long time. But yeah, there's a new purpose, a really big purpose, and you guys are going to be getting some insight into what that is in November and some guidance in that direction. And we also had the guidance card. I almost forgot about that. So yeah, you're literally being guided into this direction of like a big purpose. And I feel like this is going to have a part to play in that, like the healing of this whole situation. It might not make sense now, but I think it'll make sense in the future why this whole thing had to happen, because it's almost like building you into somebody who really knows themselves. And it's almost healing an aspect of yourself in a way. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm hearing right now, this message I'm getting from that. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys, group number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future. And if so, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 2, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your November prediction. So let's hop right into it. All right, group 3, let's get into it. So I'm seeing there's a strong energy in this group, okay? We have Temperance right here, 5 of Swords, Queen of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Ace of Cups. So right off the bat, Temperance talks about things like moderation, finding more balance. And I see you guys wanting to moderate yourselves and find more balance within, and also inner strength is what I'm seeing, because it's next to the 5 of Swords, and this deals with people either taking advantage of us or us giving away our energy too easily, and people kind of walking all over that and taking it for granted, taking us for granted. I think that there's kind of a situation where maybe those of you who chose this pile possibly let others you almost give your energy up to others too easily without maybe getting it reciprocated. So it kind of almost feels like our energy gets taken advantage of a lot easier because we seem to be people pleasers, or we seem to be a little bit too nice, too giving. But I see you guys kind of really focusing on like, I desire to balance this aspect of myself. Like I want relationships that are equal. I want to not give away my energy so easily. And this can even be us wasting our energy on things like social media and stuff like that. This doesn't necessarily have to be with other people. This can also be us just kind of letting our energy getting taken advantage of or taken away by social media, television, other things where we are like, you know what? I need to start balancing more. I need to start finding life balance to where we're not giving into things so easily. And we're not just giving up our power so easily to things that are not serving us in the bigger picture. And I think there's going to be a big focus on that in the month of November for you guys, pile 3. So we also have Queen of Swords here, and this deals with you guys starting to put your foot down a lot, setting a lot more strong boundaries. Yeah, you guys are almost like, I'm getting this like, we're becoming badasses in November. So pile 3. Y'all are going to start saying no a lot more often to certain habits that you guys have, maybe to other people. And it looks like you guys are going to start to be really protective over your own energy and over your own time. And it just looks like you guys desire more alone time for yourself rather than giving so much to others and not giving enough to yourself. There's this focus on, I need to give more to myself. And I think that you guys are going to be really focused on that this month in November. We also have the 4 of Pentacles here. So The Four of Pentacles can signify that we are holding on to something really tightly, or it can signify that we're investing time into something. And in this particular reading, I'm getting that you guys are desiring to really grasp your time. It feels like you guys have been so busy lately. Everybody wants to get some of your time, your attention. They need you for this, they need you for that. And time management is something that I think you guys are going to be so heavily focused on. That Four of Pentacles, I'm really getting a time management kind of vibe from it. And you guys realizing how precious your time is. Not wanting to waste it anymore. And taking it very seriously. And putting your foot down when you feel like that's getting out of balance. It's like we really desire moderation. I think there's been things in the background that you guys have really wanted to do or get done, and they're like little personal goals that you guys have. There's like little personal goals that you guys want to have time for, and so this time management kind of theme is really coming up about saying no to certain things, putting your foot down about certain things, focusing your time a lot better. We also have the Emperor next, so you are also stepping into this like strong persona that's unwavering. There's so much determination on a project that you guys have, on something that you guys want to do and get done. A lot of determination for this new kind of way of life that you guys have this idea of and that you guys are wanting to move towards, but it really requires setting boundaries and saying no. And again, time management. You guys could also be wanting to invest more into yourselves, invest more into a big project that you guys have an idea of. There's a lot more focus on that you guys are wanting to put your time and effort towards. And honestly, yeah, just no longer wasting time on meaningless stuff. No longer giving your time away to things that are not also benefiting you in the long run. There's so much more strength coming up in November, so much more determination. Time management, again, like I said. And then with the Ace of Cups, this one is like really just screaming to me like your cup is going to be so full. It's going to be overflowing by the end of November, because the amount that you've really started to focus on what you desire and what really fills up your cup, the fact that you're saying no to the things that are draining to you and the things that are feeling kind of like a waste of time, all of a sudden, your cup is going to be full in November, you guys. Like, pile 3, this looks so good. I think you're going to be so proud of yourself because you're finally focused on doing the things that you guys have been desiring to do for a long time, but just haven't had the determination to cancel old plans and to focus on those particular things. Wow. The amount of satisfaction that I see at the end of November, pile 3, is otherworldly. I think you guys are going to be so proud. It's almost like you guys are completing something that you guys have been wanting to complete for a while, finishing something that you guys have been wanting to finish for a while. And I think you guys are going to be looking at that by the end of the month, just being like, ooh, I'm so proud of myself. I need to do this more often. I need to start saying no more often so that I can start saying yes to me. It's like you guys are saying no to all the other things and finally starting to say yes to yourself. Finally starting to say yes to your big goals and your big dreams. And brewing that, focusing on that. Oh, and it looks good. Your aura just looks like it is glowing in this card. Like, I really see you guys being in this sort of energy at the end of the month, this Ace of Cups energy. And sometimes the Ace of Cups can talk about love, romance, things like that. But in this one, for this reading, I'm really seeing is this is your own satisfaction over the completion of something that you guys have been wanting to focus on, and the fact that you guys are focused on you rather than all the other stuff we were kind of just wasting our time with. Look at this, you're just glowing with magic and inspiration. It's finally like your aura and your soul is lit up because your soul's like, oh, I've been desiring this for so long. I've been wanting to do this and get into this state and be in this routine for so long. And it's finally like you're giving it that satisfaction. It's like you're just glowing. You're just glowing. You're feeling so happy. You're feeling so much more into alignment. And I think that you guys are going to be like, wow, why didn't I start this sooner? Why didn't I start doing this sooner? But honestly, everything happens in perfect timing, right? But yeah, it's just such a great energy that I'm seeing for you guys by the end of the month. That's just like unstoppable, because we're finally realizing how productive we can really be and how in alignment we can really be and how full we can make our cup. It's unlike anything else, you guys. Group 3, it's unlike anything else. So with that being said, let's get into our next 2 cards that we have. We have comfort and direction. Wow, this fits in well. Pile 3, my goodness. You guys are getting out of your comfort zone, but also in a way getting back into your comfort zone. And I'm going to explain that. So I think beforehand, you guys were so used to always just saying yes to everybody, falling into saying yes to like your distractions because they were comforts, because we were used to that. We were used to doing all that. So in a way, it was kind of like a comfort. But your body, your soul, your mind was kind of craving something else. It was craving to work on your passions, to work on yourself, to give more time to you and what you have been feeling called towards. And that in itself is kind of like a comfort too, right? But maybe we weren't comfortable doing it because it was a little bit out of our current routine of what we've been doing. And maybe it was outside of our comfort zone to really say no to other people or to other things, to discipline ourselves, to stop doing the things that are kind of, sometimes we get addicted to like Netflix and our phone, even though we don't actually feel necessarily good while we're doing it, because the whole time we're like, oh, I'm kind of wasting my time, and like I could be doing something better. Or even afterwards, we feel like, wow, I could have really spent my time doing something a bit more productive, and I'm kicking myself for not doing that thing that I've been telling myself I'm going to do. So it's almost like uncomfortable to be doing your comforts, but at the same time they're comfortable. I don't know. Is that making sense? I'm sure you guys get the point. But yeah, it's like you're leaving behind certain comforts to finally have the determination and willpower to go towards what you really want to be doing and finding the comfort in that. So I hope that makes sense. We also have direction. So you guys are totally shifting directions, which makes sense. I mean, we've been talking about that this whole time. You're finally going towards time management. You're going towards focusing on you, focusing on the things that you guys have been wanting to get done, kind of shifting how you spend your time, right? Now we're spending it wisely, and we're very aware of how we spend our time in November, guys. The next couple cards, we have peace and we have glamour. So finding inner peace, my love. I also feel like this talks about this peace about not wasting your time with all these other things, with other people, with this, with that. We're no longer finding ourselves in chaotic environments where people are unloading all of their problems on us, and they're like, this happened. It's like you guys are really finding inner peace, and you're like, ooh, tranquility once again. I forgot what this was like. So huge energy of that coming in November, just like peace all around, feeling like we're just back into alignment. We also have glamour coming up, so focusing on you. Look at, like, she's looking into the mirror. We also have this beautiful candlelight happening, which I think is like, signifies we're starting this new flame. We're starting this new passion. We're following something that ignites us, right? And then she's looking into the mirror, which is kind of like self-focus, right? So again, we're focusing more on ourselves in the month of November. So I also feel like self-care is coming up, like self-care that we've been putting off, whether that's we need to go get a haircut, or we need to do our proper skincare routine because maybe we haven't been giving ourselves enough time for that, and maybe we've been getting some breakouts, or maybe we feel like we've lost a little bit of our luster because we haven't been putting time into ourselves lately. Also, I apologize for whatever this beeping noise is. I don't even know where that's coming from. That's so weird. It almost sounds like one of my neighbors' like fire alarms is going off. I never used to live in the city, and there's just so much noise being in the city, but oh well. And I'm not even in a big city. It's the weirdest thing. I'm kind of in like a smaller little area, but yeah, anyway. I think that's also signifying that there has been signals going off in your mind, like, oh yeah, right when I started saying it, guys, that was a total sign, because right when I started talking about it, the noise stopped. So it was almost like spirit was just like, come on, we're gonna wait, we're gonna keep this noise going until you start talking about it and how it's a sign. And then they're like, oh, thank you. And then they like stop the noise. Really weird that it happened at the exact same time that I started talking about it. But yeah, so it's a sign for you guys. It's almost like this back and forth signal that's been going off in your mind, and your mind's been like, hey, stop doing this, stop doing that. Like, I don't even know if my microphone picked up what that signal was, but it was kind of like a beep, 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 like kind of thing like that. And it's almost like this ping pong ball in your mind that's been like, hey, let's start doing what we're supposed to be doing. Let's stop doing these little things that we don't like doing anyway, but it's kind of like what we're used to doing. It's like that's kind of going off in your mind. And yeah, again, with glamour too, I feel like there's a lot more focus on kind of like catching up on the things that you have needed to catch up on, catching up on you. We've been focused a lot on other people, doing a lot out externally. And now it's finally time to come back to the internal and take care of us, focusing on meditation to get us in a better mental state again, focusing on the books that we've been wanting to read, focusing on the projects that we've been wanting to complete and start and things like that. So that's what we have right off the bat for you guys. We're also going to shuffle this deck right here. This is a major arcana deck, so there's only major arcana cards in this particular one. And we're going to be asking sort of the major focus for the month of November, sort of like the overall sort of overarching energy, the big kind of overall focus and things like that. Of November, we have the Chariot that came up for another group too. There's like a decent amount of cards in this deck. We've had this one come up twice now. So this is a shifting of directions based on what we wanted to stop focusing on towards what we do want to focus on. Honestly, feel like pulling out one more card here because that just kind of like reaffirms what we've been talking about. But I want another kind of like overarching personal energy, like your personal energy for the month of November. One more card here. Okay. Judgment. So release. Finally starting. Your mind, I think, has been very loud. And look at these little signals, these loud trumpets coming in. It's kind of like the signaling of what we were just hearing going on earlier, which just started again. Right when I said it. What in the world? The synchronicity of this pile, you guys. Group 3. What in the world? I'm sorry, but your guides and your spirits are so strong. Right when I start talking about certain things, they start happening in this group. Like, what? All right, so it's been loud. They've been talking to you, okay? Your soul, your higher self has been speaking to you, being like, hey, let's do this. Time management here. Stop wasting your time. Please stop wasting your time. Let's get to it. So I feel like you guys have been hearing that a lot, and there's been probably a lot of internal dialogue in your mind lately about like, hey, yeah, I know. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Okay, cool. So November will be the time to actually start taking action on that. So the Chariot, we're finally starting to move forward on that. We're finally starting to take action on that. And the outcome of it is so good. Like, once again, I just want to pull out that beautiful card once again. This beautiful Ace of Cups, you guys. Look at that satisfaction energy happening at the end of November. Like, she is so satisfied. She's so proud of herself. She's so full. She's so full that her cup is overflowing. She has so much energy and so much satisfaction that it's just overflowing at this point. She could fill up another cup with all of that. You know, she has so much more to give now. Whereas beforehand, it's almost like you guys were kind of drained, and the alarm has been going off being like, we're out of battery. We're like basically out of battery. Please recharge. Sorry, guys. So back to this. We had, there's lots of stuff coming up. Lots of like minor little interruptions from spirit while we're on this reading, which fits in like so well again. We had minor little scare. One of my friends just opened up the door and I was like, oh my God. But anyway, we're back to it. But that also kind of signifies kind of what we're talking about with like the beeping and all that. There is things that we need to say no to. And I think that for you guys, there's certain things that are coming up that, again, it's like our higher self's been speaking to us, like, set boundaries, say no to these things. It's time to move into a new direction. So again, huge confirmation on that in this group. I do also want to add in maybe like one more card from this deck, maybe like one or two here. So let's see what we get. Group 3, what other stuff do we have coming up for November for you guys? We have humility coming up. This is interesting to come up for you guys here. Let's look into this. So the energy of humility, being humble. I think you guys are, there's maybe a bit of a fear around saying no to other people. A fear of being like, hey, you know, I really actually want to focus on this certain thing, so I'm sorry, I don't really want to do this. There might be, we might just have to like face it and face the fact that we need to talk about that. We also have service. Maybe you guys are so used to being of service to others, and that's a place that maybe we're used to being at. Yeah, yeah. And so you guys are just taking charge. You're getting in that emperor energy this month. We have to step up to the emperor energy and be of service to ourselves. I'm definitely getting that from these cards. So, honestly, I feel like pulling one more. I don't know why. Spirit's telling me one more here. Let's do it. Group 3, transients, we're in the shift. That card is all about being in the shift. The wind is calling us in a new direction. Calling us in a new direction, my loves. And it's time to be of service of that new direction rather than staying in what we're used to. Change of direction. The winds are moving. So that is what we have for you guys, group number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed this little prediction for you guys. And if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future. And if so, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 4, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group 4, we have the 4 of Wands, 9 of Wands, the Tower, 2 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the 7 of Cups here. I am looking at this group and getting a totally different message for it than I would normally kind of give with these cards, just because the depictions on them are slightly different. And these two are like sticking out to me a lot right here, because if we look at these, the depictions that are particularly on these ones are a little bit different than you would normally see. So with the 9 of Wands, it kind of looks like all these wands that are smoking right here on the ground. It's kind of like whatever she was trying to do, these ones sort of kind of failed. So she's holding up the next one. She has a little bit of look of concern in her face because she's like, I really want to do this. I really want to do this. But even her stance is a little bit like not super confident, because it just looks like she's had a decent amount of failures in the past, right? So still pretty similar to the regular 9 of Wands, but also kind of different as well. The Tower is also super different because she almost looks satisfied, and she has this wand that seemed to do what she was trying to do, right? So I'm almost getting this different sort of interpretation where it seems like you guys have been trying to do something or get over a hurdle, or it seems like every time you try to do something, maybe it doesn't turn out exactly how you want it to go. So maybe you guys have been dealing with this throughout maybe October, where when you try to do something, maybe we're like not super satisfied with it. But it's like you guys are getting over that hurdle in November, and all of a sudden it's like, we did it. We did what we were trying to do. So there's been some sort of hurdle, and we are getting over that. And maybe we're realizing that we kind of were doing it wrong in the first place, because the Tower also signifies that we were kind of doing it wrong. We need to restart and rebuild. I think that in November, you guys are realizing where you've been going wrong here. And there's this big like epiphany energy that's coming in November, to where you can finally do something correctly. And we're kind of having a big epiphany on where we were going wrong in the past, and we are able to kind of fix it and restart it. We also have the 2 of Swords here, like bullseye. This card also, the depiction of this card is like super different from the regular tarot, right? And she's like blind, kind of like just shooting her shot. So I think that you guys are realizing something that you didn't really notice before, or maybe we've been trying to do something, we haven't known how to start it or how to begin it, or there's been information that's missing, or we've been feeling maybe like we're not good enough and we need to work on our craft a little bit more, but there's somehow this big epiphany that we're getting, and I feel like you guys are going to be able to feel really good about it and start something new. Ace of Pentacles here. So it's almost like we're attaining something that we've been wanting, getting like a green light that we're headed in the right direction with something. It's really interesting energy that we're getting from this group. I also want to add on a couple of these cards. We've been shuffling these cards with each group, but for you guys, I feel like shuffling them a little bit early and kind of getting a couple other cards on this pile for you guys. So this deck right here is just Major Arcana. We're going to be asking the cards kind of like the overall energy of November for you guys. We're going to choose two. We're going to choose one for the, or that's way too many. That's like 5. We're going to choose one for the overarching sort of energy for November, and then also one for your internal energy. So the first one coming out is the overarching energy. We have hope. So there's something that we're maybe hoping for, wishing for. That one's pretty self-explanatory. So, and then this one that just came out, this is going to be representative of your guys' energy, the Sun. We're leading to more authenticity, returning back to having fun with life. Ooh, that just struck a chord with me. That made a lot of sense for this group. So for you guys, we're learning how to have fun again and not take life so seriously, because I think you guys have been way too hard on yourselves with this 9 of Wands and the Tower. You guys have been way too hard on yourselves, and because of that, things have been a lot harder to do. Whenever we try to do something, it seems more difficult than it should be. And it's because you guys have been way too hard on yourselves. And you guys haven't really been seeing that. So 2 of Swords being here as well. We've been almost like closed off. We haven't really been letting our creativity shine. We haven't been letting our intelligence shine or our gifts. They haven't been shining because we've been way too hard. We've been way too critical of ourselves. November is about changing that. November is going to be a whole shift of that, in fact. Heading back to having more fun. And I think this is almost going to shift, this is going to shift a lot for you guys. I mean, 4 of Wands, I think that you guys are going to be able to celebrate something in November. There's going to be either some sort of good news, or maybe this realization, this new epiphany, is going to make you realize that it's time to celebrate. It's really time to start celebrating rather than being so hard all the time and so critical over yourself, okay? And because of this, this is going to allow your creativity to start shining again. This is going to allow you to have more fun out of life and have like a very bright sort of attitude again. A fun-loving energy is coming out in November for you guys, especially near the end of November. It's like we're realizing how to come back to just being fun and lighthearted and easygoing. That energy is coming back out. We're getting a much more solid grip on life. We're feeling much more confident about it too with Ace of Pentacles. Like, this is us feeling very confident, almost starting brand new again. We're starting fresh with this more bubbly, kind of fun, creative sort of energy. We also have 7 of Cups. This is you guys definitely getting super creative once again, but also realizing that maybe you guys worry too much as well, because 7 of Cups can sometimes talk about worries and all the options, and maybe we're like, how do I choose an option? Like, what if it doesn't turn out good? Or what if I choose the wrong one? Or what if I make this decision and it turns out bad and then I regret making this choice, right? There's too much worry here. Realize that you are actually the creator of your reality, and the only times that things fall apart and turn out bad is when we're putting that energy into it. So if we make a decision and we're charging it with so much worry because we're constantly like, what if it goes wrong? What if it goes wrong? Well, guess what? Your mentality is literally focused on what if it could go wrong? And when we're focused on that, our mind starts coming up with things that could go wrong. Our mind starts coming up and imagining like the worst case scenario. Our mind starts doing that because that's what we're focused on. And when your mind starts now coming up with different outcomes that equate to that, now it's going to start thinking about how that's going to happen. And then as your brain starts thinking about the how that's going to happen, now that's going to start actually happening because that's the direction that we're focused on. And that's all we're seeing because that's all we're thinking of. Now we're headed in that direction because now our choices are based out of worry and fear of going in that direction, but that's all we're looking at, because that's all we can seem to think about. So when you make a new choice and you make a new decision, instead, let the worry go. And I know that can be hard sometimes, but when we let that worry go and we focus on best case scenario, best possible outcome, like what if this turns out better than I could ever imagine? If you start thinking about that, then your brain's going to come up with, oh, wow, if it's better than I could ever imagine, what does that look like? Oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? That's so great. Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be insane? Wouldn't that be so amazing? Then guess what? Then your brain's going to start coming up with like how that would actually happen. And your brain's going to start thinking about that. Like, ooh, that thing sounds so good. How would that actually happen though? Like your brain starts wondering about that, because our brains are constantly in motion, right? And the more you think about something, it'll branch off into all these different directions. It'll really start solidifying and creating that thought. And when you start solidifying and creating that thought more and more, it expands more and more, and you get into the how, you get into the possibilities, all that sort of stuff. Then the decisions that you make will be in alignment with that, because that's what you're thinking about. So those are the actions that you'll start taking, because that'll be the actions that you are thinking of, right? Therefore, your outcome will be equal to what you're thinking of. So when you're realizing this, okay, guys, it's time to head back to authenticity, creativity, fun, because then your mind will be in that direction, and then there'll be things to celebrate about. So I think that you guys are going to be realizing a lot of this, and how important it is to have a good mindset, and how to be positive, and how to be fun, how to be really hopeful rather than worrisome, not be so hard on yourself, because when we're hard on ourselves, we know how that turns out, right? When we put so much pressure on ourselves, things become really difficult. So November is going to be this huge realization. Then there's going to be this sort of new beginning, and you guys are going to be making a new choice by the end of November. There's going to be sort of a new thing that you guys are wanting to implement into your life by the end of November. And you guys are going to be picking and choosing a new thing to kind of like go after and chase after. The whole new door is opening. You guys are going to feel like, I want a new door to explore. I want a new door to go around. And that's going to be opening for you guys. So with that being said, let's get into the next two cards. We have Joy and Inspiration. This fits in so well. Look at all these streamers in this card and the streamers in this card. I mean, you guys are going to be having so much more fun in November, and focused on fun and joy. Your mindset is totally shifting in November. There's also, I really think there's going to be something to celebrate. Some of you guys might be having a birthday this month. Some of you guys there might be a wedding to look forward to. There might be some other good news, like good news coming in, a good surprise that's worth celebrating. In November, there's some sort of celebration here. Some kind of celebration. We also have inspiration coming in. So the things that you're going to be growing inspiration in November. You're going to be growing the good stuff in November, because we're finally focused on fun. How can we shift our mindset? How can we realize that we've been too hard on ourselves, right? So there's this whole, I just picked up the next cards, and the next one says healing. And I was just about to say healing. There's going to be this whole healing. And I went to go pick up the other two that were like laying over here. Guys, this speaks for itself. You guys are healing the harshness, the mindsets that we've had, the overcritical mindsets. That's going to be going away and healing. We also have divine guidance here. So now we're going to feel like we're being pulled into it. There's a new calling coming in. And I kind of felt that when I was looking at the Seven of Cups. There's going to be a new calling, a new inspiration, a new thing that you guys are going to be wanting to begin here. And I think you guys, you're being guided in that new direction. Totally being guided in a new direction here. So, with that being said, we're also going to take some more cards. I'm going to take this deck again and get some more here. So, group 4, we also have love coming in. Oh, so much self-love. Giving yourself love rather than criticism. Maybe some of you guys will be wanting to seek more love too. We also have transformation coming in. Look at that butterfly he's holding. Realizing you guys have wings. What direction do you want to go in? More freedom too with the with the butterfly here. A lot of freedom. Some of you guys might be moving too, because the Four of Wands can signify moving. So there could be a celebration around that. But yeah, tons more of self-appreciation. And so much more just letting yourself be free, letting yourself be creative rather than restricting yourself, rather than being hard on yourself. Because when we get too restrictive and get too hard on ourselves, we really start confining our ability to create. We start confining our energy. And when our energy is confined, we cannot expand, right? We can't come up with new ideas, new thoughts. We can't perform as good as we normally do, mentally, physically, all that. So there's going to be this huge kind of like transformation, a lot more self-love, welcoming in so much more love. And so much more energy too. Look at this expansion with all these different colors behind him too. This is beautiful, you guys. So, group 4. That is what we are seeing here. I'm almost feeling like throwing another card on here. I don't know, guys. What do we think about that? Let's go ahead and grab, I feel like grabbing these ones here. Let's see what else is happening for group 4 in November. Group 4, November energy for group 4. Strength. Wow. You guys are going to be able to push through on something. Pushing through on something that you guys have been wanting to do. And I see you guys being successful at something that you guys are also trying to do right now. I think that you guys have what it takes to be successful at it. So there's something that's like, yes, it's like a check mark that I'm seeing. That you guys are going to be able to get to some goal that you're trying to do in the future, in November. We also have confidence coming up. So yeah, your confidence is going to be raising, probably also because you're just having more fun, being more authentic, being more open. And because of that, there's a lot more confidence. You're not being so hard on yourself, right? So now we're being easy on ourselves. Therefore, we're feeling better about ourselves. There's much more self-love coming in. Beautiful. So yes, this is what we are seeing here for you guys. Group number 4. Let me see if I see anything else in these tarot cards before moving on. Yeah, there is a new beginning that you guys are having. This can also be about learning something, new job. This can be a new material thing, like a new home. This could be something new physically, or something new in career or in school with learning, or opening up a business. Some of you guys might be doing that too. Yeah, I see you guys almost starting a new hobby and going out to purchase something as well for that. Because that's just the vibe that this whole image is giving me right here. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing here. Focusing on that new sort of inspiration, the new hobby, a new thing to kind of chase after. So that's what I see for you guys. Group number 4. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future. And if so, I'll see you guys in my next one.